Hi, my name is Neb Kamusin Atumre, and this is the sixth part of the video series Cain and Abel. Today we will stress a little more on the story of Cain and Abel. Lo, from the holy tablets, lo, and the children began to wax stronger and to grow in stature. But Cain was hard-hearted and ruled over his younger brother. And oftentimes when his father made an offering, he would remain behind and not go with them to offer up as an initiate in the order of Zodaka, of which both sons would eventually pledge. But as to Abel, he had a meek heart and was obedient to his father and mother, whom he oftentimes moved to make an offering because he loved it. And he made his taflet and fasted much. And he made his tafulat and fasted much. Nubians love to hear how great and how powerful a people we once were and will be again, yet frown on fasting and praying. I ain't no damn Muslim. That's what the Arabs do, they say. Oh really? Well, as you can see, fasting did not begin with the Prophet Mustafa Muhammad Al-Amin. Anu Aliyun El says in El's Holy Quran 2, 183 through 185, O you who are faithful, it has been written for you all, followers of Muhammad, to siyam, fast, as it is written for those, the children of Israel, before you. So the Jews and the Christians, and also all you Nuwabians too should be fasting also. Let's continue. So that you may tremble at the mention of the source. A number of days are already set, 29 or 30. So for those who are sick or on a journey in the desert, he shall fast the number of other days. And as for those who are not able to fast, he must feed a poor person for each of the days of the fast missed. And those who obey are the best of innocents. But it's even better for you to fast if you only knew. The month of Ramadan, the hot month, is the one in which the two readings, the Quran, was unzila, sent down as a leading calmness for the innocents, and bayinatin, clear evidence from the leading calmness, and gives al-Qur'an the ability to differentiate. As for those of you who are shahida, a watcher in the month of Ramadan, let him fast during it. And whoever is sick or on a journey in the desert, he shall fast for a number of other days. The source Allah wants ease for you all. He does not want things to be difficult. And complete the number 29 or 30 days in the month of Ramadan. For he is the oldest in the way in which he calms you, and perhaps you will be grateful. Unquote. Now let us continue with the Cain and Abel history. There came a sign to Abel as he was coming into the cave of treasures, Shambhala, and saw the golden rods, the incense of myrrh he acquired of his parents, Kadmon and Nekaybaw, concerning them, and he said unto them, how did you attain these? Then Kadmon told him all that had befallen them. And Abel felt deeply about what his father told him. Furthermore, his father Kadmon told him of the works of Alunel and the garden. And after that, he remained behind his father the whole of that shadow hour in the cave of treasure, Shambhala. And that shadow hour, while he was praying, Nachash appeared unto him in the image of a man who said to him, you have oftentimes moved your father to make an offering, to fast and to pray. Therefore, I will kill you and make you perish from this world. But as Abel prayed to Alunel and drove away Iblis from him, and he didn't believe the words of Nachash, who was of the order of Nana, sin. Then when it was daytime, and Anunnaki appeared unto him, who said to him, shorten neither in fasting, meditating, nor offering up an oblation unto your Alunel. Lo, the Anunnaki Elohim has not accepted you. Be not afraid of the figure which appeared unto you in the shadow hours, and who cursed you in the shadow hours, and who cursed you unto death. And the angel departed from him. Then, when it was daytime, Abel came to Kadmon and Nekaybaw and told them of the vision he had seen. But when they heard of it, they grieved much over it. Yet they had said nothing much over it. They only just comforted him. But as to hard-hearted Cain, Nachash came to him by shadow hour and showed himself and said unto him, since Kadmon and Nekaybaw love your brother Abel much more than they love you, and wish to join him in marriage to your beautiful sister because they love him, but wish to join you in marriage to his ill-favored sister because they hate you. So therefore, I counsel you. when they do that, to kill your brother. Then your sister will be left for you, and his sister will be cast away. Then suddenly Nachash departed from him. But the wicked one remained behind in the heart of Cain, who sought many a time to kill his brother. He was only looking for the right reason. For hate was in his heart, and he loved himself so much that he wished to marry his own sister. Yet Kadmon and Nekaybaw did make plain to him the Anunnaki Elohim's wishes, but being of the disagreeable company, he feared not. But when Kadmon saw that the elder brother hated the younger, he endeavored to soften their hearts, for the day of the great initiation was near. Kadmon said unto Cain, "Take, O my son, of the fruits of your sowing, and make an offering unto Alunel, that he may enter you into the order of Zadok, and not the order of Nana, sin." Then Abel hearkened unto his father's voice, me back up. He said also to Abel, that's Adam said also to Abel, "Take of your sowing and make an offering and bring it to Alunel, that you may be entered into the order of Zadok and not the order of Nana, sin." Then Abel hearkened unto his father's voice, and he took of sowing and made an offering. And he said to his father Kadmon, "Come with me and show me how to be accepted, and for my offering to be accepted." They went. Kadmon was in the cave in which Nekaybaw was with him, and they showed him how to prepare the meal for the offering, and he did offer his gift, knowing how to offer it up. They went, Kadmon and Nekaybaw with him, and showed him how to offer up his gift at the altar. Then after that, they stood up and prayed that Alunel would respect Abel's offering and accept Abel into the order. Then Alunel looked upon Abel and respected his offering. And Alunel was more pleased with Abel and accepted him. He was now the son of the Elohim, the child of the green light, because of his good heart and pure body. There was no trace of guile in him. Then they came down from the altar. They went to the cave in which they dwelt. But Abel, by reason of his joy, having made his offering, he repeated it 3 times a week after the example of his father Kadmon. But at the end of the day, later in time, what happened was Cain entered the presence of the Elohim in an attempt to be accepted in the order of Zadok. And he presented a meal as a tribute and initiation ceremony from the ground for Nusku Gabriel Yahuwah, who had no respect for it. And he was not accepted into the order of Zadok. It was not the best of his crop. This made Cain hot with anger, and it showed in his face as his face fell into a frown, for he took no pleasure in the offering, and his eye was again on it. Therefore, Kalka'El did not accept his offering, because his thought was full of murderous thoughts. And he was later to be accepted into the order of Nana, sin, for Martaiah, son of Apolia. And he waited for the availability of his soul. They did welcome him into the order of the amber light fire. Upon entrance through the door, the kneeling Martaiah greeted him. Cain was a worthy candidate for this disagreeable order, and there he was accepted. Thus, they all lived in the cave in which Nekaybaw had brought forth until Cain was 15 years old and Abel was 12 years old. Lo, then Kadmon said to Nekaybaw, behold, the children are grown up. We must think about grandchildren. It is best for Abel to marry Labuda and Cain to marry Akalimia. This is how it was told to me by the Elohim. Then Nekaybaw said to Kadmon, I don't like Cain, because he is hard-hearted. But let them abide until we offer up unto Kalka'El in their behalf. Kadmon said no more. Meanwhile, Shaitan came into Cain in the image of a man of the field, and he said unto him, behold, Kadmon and Nekaybaw have taken counsel together about the marriage of you two, and they have agreed to marry Abel's sister to you and your sister to him. But if it was not that because I love you, I would have not told you. Will you take my advice and hearken unto me? Shaitan speaking. Will you take my advice and hearken unto me? I will bring you on your wedding day beautiful robes, gold and silver in plenty, and my relations will attend to you. Then Cain said with joy, where are your relations? Nachash said, my relations are in a garden in the north, where I once meant to bring your father Kadmon, but he would not accept my offer. But if you will receive my words, and if you will come unto me after your wedding, and you will rest from the misery in which you are, and you will rest and be better off than your father Kadmon. At these words of Shaitan, Cain opened his ears and leaned towards his speech. He did not remain in the field, but he went to Nekaybaw, his mother. And however, she quieted him, and she sent him to the field where he had been. Then when Kadmon came, she told him what Cain had done. But Kadmon grieved and held his peace, and he said not a word. Then on the morrow Kadmon said unto Cain, his son, take of your sheep, young and good, and offer them up unto Kalka'El for a great feast. But do it with care and perfection, for this is what they look for. If you are to be accepted, and I will speak to your brother to make unto Kalka'El an offering. They both hearkened to their father Kadmon, and they took their offering and offered it up on the mountain by the altar. But Cain behaved haughtily towards his brother at their initiation, and he thrust him from before the altar. But Cain offered his own before it with guile and fraud. But as for Abel, Cain set up stones that were near at hand, and he prevented him from entering the tabernacle of the Most High and pledging the proper pledge. But the Elohim were disturbed on this special day of rest. Upon that, he offered up his gift, and he cried unto Kalka'El in hopes that he would be accepted and his pledge would be respected, in that he did his best to comply with the wishes of the Elohim on this day of rest. But the Elohim did not accept Cain. He was rejected entrance into the order of Zadok, but he remained standing over against the altar out of humor and wrath, looking towards his brother Abel to see if the Elohim would accept him and respect his offering. Abel prayed unto Kalka'El to accept him and respect his offering. Then a divine green light came down and consumed him and his offering. Kalka'El was greatly pleased with him, and he welcomed him as a child of the Elohim, because Abel loved him and rejoiced in him, and because Kalka'El was pleased with him, he sent him an Anunnaki Elohim of light in the figure of Gabriel. Zadok, who had partaken of his offering, and they comforted Abel and strengthened his heart. But Cain was looking on all that took place at his brother's offering. And he was vexed on account of it. Then he opened his mouth and blasphemed Alunel, because he had not accepted him or respected his offering. But Gabriel said to Cain, wherefore is your countenance sad? Be righteous, that I may accept your offering. Not against me have you murmured, but against thyself. Gabriel said this to Cain in rebuke, and because he abhorred him and his offering. And Cain came down from the altar, and his color changed to pale in anger and a woeful countenance. Cain came to his father and mother and told them all that had befallen him. Kadmon grieved much because Alunel had not accepted Cain. But Abel came down rejoicing and with a gladsome heart. And he told his father and mother how Alunel had accepted him, and they rejoiced at it, and they kissed his face. Abel said to his father, because Cain thrust me from the altar and would not allow me to offer my gift before it, I made an altar for myself and offered my gift before it. But when Cain heard this, he had twofold anger. 7 disagreeable spirits entered him. Then he went into the field where Iblis came to him and said to him, since your brother Abel has taken refuge with your father Kadmon, because you did thrust him from the altar, they have kissed his face, and they rejoice over him far more than over you. When Cain heard these words of Nachash, he was filled up with rage, and he let no one know, but he was laying wait to kill his brother until he brought him into the cave. He brought him into the cave and then said to him, oh brother, the country is so beautiful, and there are so many beautiful trees in it and charming to look at. But brother, I very much wish that you would come with me into the field to enjoy thyself and bless our fields and our flocks. For you are righteous, and I love you, he said in the seat. Then Abel consented to go with his brother Cain into the field. But before going out, Cain said to Abel, wait for me until I fetch a staff, because of wild beasts. Then Abel stood waiting in innocence as Cain went forward, and he fetched a staff and went out. And they began. Cain and his brother Abel left to walk down the way. Cain talking to him and comforting him to make him forget everything. So Cain, in concealed anger, spoke to Abel, and when the right time had come, when they were both on the right side of the enclosed garden in the field, and so they went on until they came to a lonely place where there were no sheep. Then Abel said to Cain, behold, my brother, we are weary of walking, for we see none of the trees, nor the fruits, nor any of the things which you did tell me. Where are those sheep of yours that you did tell me to bless? Then Then Cain said to him, come on, presently you will see many beautiful things, but go before me until I catch up with you. Then Abel went forward, but Cain remained behind him. And Abel was walking in innocence without guile, not believing his brother would kill him. Then Cain, when he came unto him, he confronted him with a talk, walking a little behind him. Then he hastened and smote him with a staff, blow upon blow, 3 times, until he was on the ground. But when Abel fell down upon the ground, seeing that his brother meant to kill him, he said to Cain, oh, my brother, have pity on me. By the same breast we have sucked, smite me not. By the same parents that bare us and that brought us into the world, smite me not unto death with that staff. If you kill me, take one of these large stones and kill me outright. Then Cain, the hard-hearted and cruel murderer, took 3 large stones and smote his brother with them upon the head 3 times, until his brains oozed out and he weltered in his blood before him. Cain stood over Abel and he made sure he was dead. He killed him. Cain repented not of what he had done, but the earth with the blood of the righteous Abel fell upon it, trembled, and it drank his blood, and would have brought Cain to naught for it. The blood of Abel cried mysteriously to Alionel to avenge him of his brother. Then Cain began at once to wonder, what shall he do with his brother's dead body? For he was trembling with fear that came upon him when he saw the earth tremble on his account. After watching the mischief of the fowl and how it did bury its dead, he then cast